Well, what were the ratings on this fiasco this week before we move on?
Let's go over the ratings right now, Jim. For Dynamite, which aired on February 8th, 2023, the overall number was 899,000 viewers.
We're going in the wrong direction, apparently, again. Back down to the base audience. But what were the quarters there? Oh, great, Brian.
The quarters, let me open this up right now. This was put together by Brandon Thurston at WrestleNomics. The show opened, or maybe I should say the Big Bang Theory ended. Segment 1, Takeshita vs. MJF 8 to 8:15. 1,049,000 viewers.
So that's, I believe, comparable to where they started out last week.
The overall number, I think, is comparable. What was it last week? 901?
No, last week was 9. Was better. Was it only 901? Maybe I'm thinking of the week before that. I am, because they had Mark Briscoe on that week. So something people wanted to see. All right, so the first quarter hour, 1,049,000.
Segment 2, which is the finish of MJF versus Takeshita, as well as the post-match angle, the Samoa Joe backstage promo, and the Bunny versus Jamie Hayter with picture-in-picture, as well as the Tony Storm, Saraya, Leva Bates backstage angle. 1 million viewers.
Okay, that is telling in that they only lost 49,000 people from the start of the Big Bang, and that's unusual. That's unusually small. That tells me people stuck around to see what was going on with MJF there. They certainly didn't stick around for the Bunny.
Segment 3, 8:30 to 8:45. The MJF blowjob switcheroo story promo, as well as Angelo Parker and Daniel Parker. Angelo Parker. And
how about Angelo Mosca?
I wish. Angelo Parker and Daniel Garcia and Matt Menard versus Ricky Starks in a gauntlet match with picture-in-picture. 941,000 viewers.
All right, so we begin the attrition. We've lost another 59,000.
Segment 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The final 7 minutes of the gauntlet match, as well as the post-match with a masked Chris Jericho, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn backstage promo, the Danielson being locked in the dressing room or locker room, and Takeshita angle, and MJF's live promo, 869,000 viewers.
Ooh. Boy, howdy. So that was 180,000 people from start of the first hour to finish of the first hour.
Well, let's go to
I was about to say, at top of 9 o'clock, Bryan Danielson is coming to the ring to wrestle. So did that help him out any?
Top of the hour, segment 5, 9 to 9:15 p.m. Bryan Danielson versus Roosh with picture-in-picture, 923,000 viewers.
Okay, so they picked up 54,000.
Indeed, they did.
Indeed, they did. Yes, I was looking at that. The mathematics are correct. So they lost 180,000 from the start of the first hour to the end of the first hour, but then at the start of the second hour, they picked 54 of those 1,000 back up.
Well, segment 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m., the Danielson MJF post-match angle, as well as the Impractical Jokers backstage angle.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And the Elite versus AR Fox and Top Flight with picture-in-picture, 848,000 viewers.
Oh, Jesus. So they not only lost all the ones they just picked up, but they lost another 21,000 on top of that. So about 75,000 viewers.
Well, segment 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m., the final 9 minutes of the Elite versus AR Fox and Top Flight.
Oh, good God.
The Hook Stokely Hathaway segment. And that's it there. 779,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ. So they've already lost Exactly. No, not exactly 200. The 201,000 people from the start of the program through quarter 6. But when the people get a shot of the 6-man champions, they lose another 69,000 people in 15 minutes time.
Well, the final segment, Jim, segment 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. The Acclaimed versus the Guns with picture-in-picture and the post-match, 780,000 viewers.
And the main event loses another 19,000. Is that a good sign when all 3 of your executive vice presidents get 18 minutes of the television time to do what they want, playing with their friends, and in that 18 minutes of time, they managed to run off 69,000 more people than you've already lost to the program thus far? They ran off 30% of the people had been run off by that point by themselves.
CM Punk never did that.
No, I mean, they're in rarefied territory now. When you talk about records being set, I think it's safe to say that the Elite are running off more viewers than pretty much anybody else in AEW television history.
The Elite in the women's division. And here's the other thing. Other than the fact that WWE would sign them just to stick it to AEW, what leverage do these guys have right now? They've never meant less. They haven't meant less in a decade.
And I don't think they're smart enough to realize it. I think they still think that they're the brains behind that operation, and they're the straw that stirs the drink, as Flair would say. I don't think they realize how irrelevant they are fast becoming in the ever-changing wrestling world. Because after all, their little YouTube comedy show, those numbers are down. They don't do anything like our numbers, for example. So their relevancy.
Hey, look at the fucking television number. More people listened to you talk about them last week than actually watched them.
And actually watched them wrestle. So, I hate it when people like that, formerly living on the island of relevancy, now become completely irrelevant. Almost like they're out of touch, Brian. The Buckaroos and Twinkle Toes, they're out of touch with what the people want, or elsewise they'd have listenership numbers and viewership numbers like ours. But, well, it's not my business, not for me to interfere.
And you would think they would be in touch from all the touching of themselves that they do.
Oh, they touch themselves plenty. They just can't touch anybody else. Well, there was the ratings, and say, how do you rate this week's programming on the Arcadian Vanguard Network and the Wrestling News broadcasts?
Another action-packed week on the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network. Get information about all the shows on Twitter at Superpodcast or on Facebook at facebook.com/Arcadian Vanguard. A few notes. Of course, the Wrestling News. Subscribe today wherever you find your favorite podcast. Look for Arcadian Vanguard's The Wrestling News, or download directly from thewrestlingnews.com for your free daily morning wrestling newscast. No opinion, no conjecture, no star ratings, just actual wrestling news.
No charge.
No charge. Free. Daily. Get it today. TheWrestlingNews.com, or look for The Wrestling News wherever you find your favorite podcasts. I want to once again mention the latest episode of Shut Up and Wrestle with Brian Solomon, Keith Elliott Greenberg, discussing the life of Lanny Poffo. A lot of people have really liked this episode. Check it out today at suawpod.com, or look for Shut Up and Wrestle with Brian Solomon wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And of course, the 605 Superpodcast, the Mothership! Is that you? Is that you whining? Go through the archive today. Go through the archive today at 605pod.com. Available wherever you whine your favorite podcast.
Wherever you whine your favorite podcast.
The Mothership!
Can I have some cheese with that, please?